What is going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another episode, and this is Game Week 1 recap. The season is underway, and I'm excited. I'm happy to talk about it. But before we get into it, we have to give a little bit of housewarming. You know, as always, we appreciate the likes, the follows, and all the messages, the subscribes. Everything's down in the description down below. So make sure you go there. Let us know when you want to come on the bench and banter with us and give us your view on your team. Also, we have a quick recap, and we'll do that right now on the in-season tournament that we have going on. So, Nick, if you can please give us that breakdown. Not the draft.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, yo, chill, bro.
My man, I'm getting nervous right now. I'm fucking everything up. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't really introduce us, right? As always, my name is Erik.
Nico, Nick.
Diego Stacho.
Josue Dyer.
Marco.
And Marco
Behind the mic.
behind the camera.
Yes. All right. So basically, last episode we chose 3 fixtures we wanted to do predictions for. That was West Ham versus City. That was Crystal Palace versus Arsenal, and that was Leeds versus Wolves. So to start off, West Ham versus City. I got the score line right. 2-0 City. So I got 2 points. Diego got the result correct. Gag got the result correct. Erik got the result correct. Marco got the result correct. Dyer did not get the result correct.
That's
You
not
are
a-
not the
I
father.
said a draw, right?
Yeah.
Crystal Palace versus Arsenal.
No.
Erik got the scoreline correct.
Respect.
Erik got the scoreline correct. Gag got the result correct. And Marco got the result correct. Nico, I did not get the result correct. And Diego and Dyer did not as well.
No respect.
Leeds versus Wolves. No one got the scoreline correct. But Dyer and myself, Nico, got the result correct. So the other 4 did not.
Look, I'm challenging that one. I need to go back to VAR. I'm pretty sure I
That's
said Leeds
crazy.
2-1. So
This would be like a perfect opportunity to do a little flashback. And
So-
he's like, yeah, Wolves 2-1, Wolves 2-1.
So the roundup for game week 1 is Dyer on 1 point, Diego on 1 point, Gat on 2 points, myself, Nico on 3 points, Erik on 3 points, and Marco on 2 points.
Ooh.
All right, so we're underway with that season, with that little tournament. We also did a fantasy league draft amongst just us here. So, Diego, want to give us a quick breakdown on that? Which, by the way, I'm actually really enjoying it. How that whole
Yeah.
setup is really is.
Yeah, even though I sucked ass. Shit was bonkers.
All right, so we set up a draft league amongst ourselves. We got together, did the whole Zoom thing. We took turns picking, and it turned out that I went first.
And sixth.
Fixed, rigged,
And
rigged.
they say it's fixed or rigged. And then I forget the order exactly after that, but I believe it was probably like Erik, Nico.
Josue, Nico, me.
Oh, Erik, Josue, Nico, Marco, and Gat was last. So it went in like a sneaking order. So first person, once it came back, picked twice. Last person, once it came back, picked twice. Everyone else picked in between. We got some pretty good teams in there, but just to give an update on our Benchwarmers Draft League here amongst us in the studio, looking at the results. First head-to-head was Nick against myself, 44 to 55 points. I took the dub.
Woo!
We have Halas, managed by our own Erik here, taking the dub against not last place FC, managed by Marco, 62 to 33. And Gat taking the win versus Baleadas, managed by Josue, 45 to 28. So to give like a little, I guess, overview, we each picked our own players. We had some upsets. We had some players left on the bench.
I had a Mitrovic on the bench.
We had some points that we missed out on, but it's actually really interesting.
I know.
And that's going to be another little side competition that we're running here to see who's going to take the draft trophy. So just to highlight for next week what the matchups are going to be, it's going to be myself against Gat, Josue versus Erik,
Ooh, a little North London derby. Let's get it.
and Marco versus Nick. So we'll see how that goes for game week 2 of our draft league.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that quick update. Now, before we get into the episode, I have a quick question for you guys to kind of get the gears rolling a little bit, to kind of, put some lube or WD-40 into this conversation. So, my question to you guys is, what is one rule you would add or change to the game or the federation as a whole, just FIFA, that you think would improve the game overall?
One rule.
One rule that improves.
So
I got
I'll go first if you guys want to buy some time, because I
Alright,
have
let's
one.
see.
Obviously, I wrote the question, so I have time to think about it. I would actually want to implement salary caps.
Oh,
I think that would give more teams a fighting chance, and you won't see the likes of PSG, Man City Chelsea just
Barcelona.
splashing the cash. Barcelona, but I mean, first of all,
How?
don't get me started on that. I don't know how they're doing it, but you won't see them splashing the cash and players going for that sole reason. More, you'll see more strategic, I think, recruitment and prioritizing. That's what I would change. I would put a salary cap into the transfer markets.
Fair enough. Mine would be on the game itself. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it, but actually stop the clock whenever the ball is dead.
Oh,
I like that rule a lot.
Implemented from NFL, NBA, and I just think I forgot there was this one game. I think it was in the Premier League last season. I think you might have known where the ball was in play for like only like 60 minutes or something like that, or 30 minutes. I forgot between which two teams, but it was something along those lines. And at that point, you're not playing the actual sport.
Would you add stoppage time? Because stoppage time
No,
is so no stoppage, just
no
straight
stoppage time,
straight
just
90
whatever.
minutes.
If the ball is out of bounds, stop it. If the ball is on a free kick, stop it. Once the ball gets kicked into play,
So
resume the clock.
live action for 90 minutes straight.
Yes.
I'm with that. I love that rule.
Oh, here we go. So looking it up just so that we're not just spitballing here. It looks like it was a game. Data shows that Spain's top flight on the last match day ranged from 45 minutes of actual ball play between Atletico and Valencia
Of course.
to just 60 minutes at the Estadio Bernabeu, Santiago Bernabeu, between Madrid and Elche. So this is a little article talking about what the average is. It's saying in Spain, the average playing time actually is about 53.2, Italy 52.9, Premier League at 55, Bundesliga at 56, and Ligue 1 at 58. So all of them are just under an hour of actual football action happening.
That's kind of crazy.
But there's the other side to it where if it does go to 90 minutes, how many injuries?
How many injuries, fatigue?
That'd be
true.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's 30 minutes added to.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's nuts.
There's
I guess
also-
it's part of the game though, like the whole time wasting aspect of it. I guess. But if you want to take it out, no more diving. Well, actually, you would still get diving, draw the fouls. I don't know. What about you?
Man, you know what? I think this is something that I probably saw or I was thinking about, and I know there are already regulations in place, but I think it would be just for the hell of it nice to have an academy player featured in your 11 every match, domestically at least. Domestically, whether that's in the league or whether you choose to be that in a cup, I think it would give room for other players to kind of break out. It does seem a bit forced, but I'm just spitballing that. I think it would be pretty cool just to be able to like look forward to like, oh, who's the new up and comer, and that could be even something that the academy kids look forward to, like who's going to rise up, who's going to be like that dark knight that comes out of it. And
you have to have one, right?
you have
Does
to
every
have at
top
least
6
one.
club right now have one?
I don't know.
United have what? Rashford, Arsenal.
I know they
Saka,
have it
right?
like I know they have it on the roster. There's a roster requirement of like the selected players that are registered for the league. But I'm talking about like, okay, there has to be one that at least starts in your 11 each match.
Yeah,
I
so
think that'd be
United
pretty cool.
have what? Rashford, and now Arsenal have Saka,
Saka.
and others. Liverpool have
Spurs
Trent.
have Dyer.
Oh, did he come through the academy?
Yeah, he was
Erik
loaned
Dyer?
out to Sporting.
Wait, who's on Liverpool?
Trent.
Trent.
Oh,
Trent.
City have Foden, and then
Chelsea have Reece
Chelsea have
James.
Reece James, Mason Mount,
Harry,
etc.
Harry Kane didn't come from.
He was out. Wasn't Kane at Arsenal?
I think he was at
Norwich?
Arsenal and then
No,
he
I
went to Spurs.
think he was just a fan of Arsenal, which rightly so. But if I'm I forget. He came from a different team.
Where was he? He was on that team together. There's that famous photo of him and Vardy together, no? Like
Yeah.
That was Leicester. They
Wasn't
were,
that Leicester?
no, Fleetwood Town. No, was whatever.
Honestly, my memory's
Mark, you're behind that.
my memory's
Look it up,
malfunctioning.
okay.
Maybe our crack producer can help search us up where Harry Kane and Vardy were together on the
Yeah.
bench. But I would say that I would put in some academy kids.
Well,
I think it was Ipswich Town.
Ipswich.
Ipswich?
Might have been.
That sounds close. That sounds close.
I mean, oh, to answer your question, I think I would say spending of the amount of money that you could buy on players. I mean, I know you said
So salary caps. Yeah. So you're talking about like transfer limits.
transfer limits, yeah, because like I mean, going back to how much Neymar was spent for 32 million,
220.
220 million. That's ridiculous. Fucking Coutinho 160. Come on, that's like 160 million Coutinho compared to 2003 8 million Ronaldo Fenomeno.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Like
look,
inflation.
yeah,
yeah, I
it
know
could
that,
go-
but still, I mean, like that's
Man, it could
way
go one or
too
two ways.
much.
It could completely screw that team over. Look at Barcelona, for example. They spend all
Okay.
that money now. They're
Yeah,
struggling
and
to-
then you want to have trouble. You want to have PSG and Man City trouble with the fair play game shit.
Well, so
Like all
so
that shit could be avoided
in
if
other
there was
words-
like a transfer limit.
In other words, you want financial fair play to actually exist.
Yeah,
Okay. That's a fair argument.
basically.
That's a fair argument. That's a very fair
Nobody's getting punished. Like
yeah.
They pay their way out. Of course. I agree with that. Marco, did you find our
You're talking about the picture where they're sitting together on the bench? It's
Yeah.
Leicester City.
is it
2013.
Leicester City?
yeah,
Okay.
Leicester
2013.
City. Yeah, Vardy was
cool.
there. He was bought by Leicester from Fleetwood Town, and Kane was there on loan.
I don't know why I said Ipswich Town.
Hey.
I
Shout
mean,
out
you're
Ip-
talking about his come up, so I wouldn't be surprised that you would consider that. Vardy at least.
Was he at Ipswich?
Who? Vardy? I'll talk.
or Harry Kane actually.
Probably.
Probably.
Either way.
We're looking bad out
All
here.
right, well, yeah, this is horrible. So we're just getting to kickoff. All right, guys, you guys ready
Yeah,
for
we're
that?
warming
Let's
up,
get into it.
Way to hit the whistle,
Premier
hit the
League
whistle.
action to happen.
Hit the
Game week
whistle.
1. All right, so kickoff Friday night under the lights. No respect on this podcast, I have to say. No respect. And Nick finally has seen the light, and he believes what I've been preaching. But Arsenal take the win 2-0 at Selhurst Park. The noisiest ground. I was not aware about that until they actually mentioned it. That's pretty cool for them. Man, that first 15, 20 minutes was some of the best football I've seen under from Arsenal in a very, 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 very long time. And I think all of my excitement from preseason is carrying over, and that's a dangerous thing because, you know, as an Arsenal fan, that can quickly come back and bite us in the ass. But I do have some notes here. Marco, do you want to kind of give your thoughts on the game, on Jesus' debut, Saliba's debut?
I mean, I'll make it quick. I loved everything I saw. Yes, there's a lot of improvement. You could tell the second half we were struggling. That's when Crystal Palace came back and showed us where our weaknesses are. Also, we changed a little bit of the lineup, how we were standing. We weren't more that much attacking. We were kind of like sitting in the middle, defending type of thing. And they did realize where they can expose us, which is mostly on the left side. Zaha was taking advantage of that of Ben White. And that's why Saka had to be close to him so that if Ben White was caught off guard, he would take over. But overall, but Saliba was there as well. So Saliba had Ben White's back multiple times. Even one of that slide there, I think Ben White got the yellow card, but this the beautiful slide that he took and took Saha's ball away from him. Showed me that Saliba is ready. But again, overall, it was a solid performance. I love the fact that we scored 2 goals. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward for the next game.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with much that you just said. The only thing I think Ben White actually had a pretty solid performance against Zaha. Yeah, he did get passed a few times, but
that was
defensively, Ben White had actually the most tackles, which kind of surprised me. And I was impressed with his performance. I don't think he's a long-term solution for right back, but regardless of the fact he did his job that day. But my standout, I guess, factor in this game was Jesus. How you could see how much of a number 9 we were truly missing. Lacazette was good at the build-up, but he was never good at getting into the final third and getting into the box. Huffing and puffing, exactly. Jesus, he just opens up play for so many players, and him and Martinelli, they are so fluid with each other. So many times you saw Jesus out on the left channel, and you saw Martinelli on the inside. And Saka, not so much. He tends to hold the width and just keep out far right, which I'm fine with. But yeah, Martinelli, I think we were talking about this earlier this past weekend, and I really think that with Jesus coming to the squad, he's gonna have a chance to really blossom and explode this season. Martinelli is definitely my player to watch right now. But I'm just happy how those, if we can just maintain those first 20 minutes throughout the whole game, because what I feel like happened is we got that goal. Shortly after that goal, Ramsdale had a little scare where he hit it off the defender, and Gabriel gave it right back to him, and it got a little worrisome. And after that, you just saw us kind of get back into our shell, and maybe that's the players trying to defend the lead away at Selhurst Park, and just they don't want to screw it up. We have to maintain the pressure, maintain that intensity that we did in the first 20 minutes. And if we do that throughout the season, which I think we can, it takes about 5 to 6 actual games for match fitness to actually start, showing itself. So I this is the most optimistic I've been as an Arsenal fan going into the season. But I have so many notes. I don't want to just take all the time. Do you guys have any questions or any observations from the game that really stood out to you? Nick, if you want to talk about the late that you saw, go ahead. Just preach.
Come on,
Preach.
it's one game.
Preach.
Give the guy his
Preach.
time.
Preach.
Give the guy his time.
Believe in me. Believe in what I'm saying. All right?
Give the guy his time. Nah, but on the Ben White, I wonder if because he is better on the ball than Gabriel, but I do wonder if he does partner Saliba because obviously he is better on the ball, but then you also have the other side of the coin where Gabriel is left-footed, and Arteta did work on Pep, and Pep loves his left-sided center back to be left-footed, i.e. Aymeric Laporte at Man City. So I don't know. What do you think? Because obviously Gabriel offers the left-footedness where he can open up different angles, exactly what you see Laporte doing, but then Ben White is also much more comfortable on the ball than Gabriel.
So I think Saliba is probably just as comfortable on the ball as Ben White is. We didn't see in the first game as much because he did his job defensively. I think what the matchup is, Gabriel is the aggressive one, the one to make the tackle to go forward, and Saliba's gonna be the more reserved guy. Like, all right, I'll clean up whatever gets passed. So I like that matchup because I feel like sometimes with Ben White and Gabriel, they're both the aggressor, and then they both go, and then we get left open in the back. I think Saliba's IQ is a lot higher than Gabriel's defensively. So I'm actually okay with the lineup. I actually prefer Ben White to be as either a backup right back or the backup to Saliba at this point because Cedric, no, Tomiyasu injury prone as of right now. So I'm okay with it, but again, not the long-term solution.
Fair enough.
Going to Gabriel Jesus, I mean, he's definitely a good pickup for you guys. I mean, he looked like he was playing a little bit more freely.
Yes.
He was taking on players. He was using his skills. And I'm like, this is not. I don't remember seeing Jesus play like this at Man City. I see him getting the ball and taking shots and providing assists, but I don't see him taking on players like he did this past Friday. So I just want to see if he could be consistent with that. I being a Spurs fan, I hope not. But you came away with the 2-0 win. There were a lot of scrappy parts in part of the game, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Especially in the second half.
Rough half.
And I mean, I just want to see a little bit more open play from Arsenal, like a goal on open play at least, to actually really consider them as a threat. Because right now, I still don't see them as a threat.
Okay.
Threaten what in the league?
It's top 4.
This guy has no respect.
Oh, the
dude.
team.
This guy's just trolling at this point, but it's okay. I'll
said
take.
no
He's a
respect.
Spurs fan. They're winning the league apparently already.
No, they're not. Did you not hear my predictions from last week?
All right, wait. What makes him not a threat to you guys?
He's just talking shit, bro. He's just
No.
talking shit.
A threat to finish top 4. I'm not saying a threat to
No, but
Spurs.
why? You guys are not. So you're solid top 4,
I'm solid top 4.
and Arsenal are not solid top 4 at all. We're not even challenging top
They
4.
could make it, but I don't see it right
So
now.
Why aren't we challenging?
Huh?
What makes you think that we wouldn't challenge?
Because y'all choked last season. Yeah, I haven't been in top 4 for the
barely.
past 6 seasons.
You were, what was it, 1 or 2 points ahead of us at the end of the season?
1.
So we choked, and for us choking is 1 point behind Spurs. That's us choking.
No, I want to give you context to the Spurs' situation because Nuno was in charge for
No, but
a quarter of the season.
correct.
And
correct.
Kane
I'm
did
not-
not.
and
Kane
Kane
didn't show up
didn't
until
play
Spurs.
for
and we were fucking
2-3
COVID at the
months.
beginning of the season. Yeah, everybody has excuses. We all have an asshole. Doesn't mean we should all
Cristiano Romero was
spew
injured
our
until
shit, okay?
January.
That's
Huh?
also
Christian
true.
Romero did get injured twice. Heung-min Son got injured also.
We were rid of COVID. We had a player who got shipped off because
Which player was that?
disciplinary issue. Aubameyang.
There's two sides. Like Arsenal didn't
There's
have your
two sides. There's
no,
two
but
sides to
Arsenal didn't have European football, which in my opinion is a huge advantage.
Correct. Okay, but what he's saying is that Arsenal are nowhere near a challenge for top 4.
I mean, it's only
Yeah,
game
I
week 1 right
No,
now.
but
It's only game week 1.
I-
Nick
Nick started it. Nick
my
started it by
opinion.
questioning
My
it.
opinion.
I'm backing it up now.
Okay, but my
So
opinion.
I'm backing it up. I just don't understand what makes you not think.
Okay,
that.
but my opinion can change after this game week. My opinion can change after game
But
week
I-
10.
No, I get
Who
that. I'm
knows?
trying to understand is what makes you think that. So wait, so you're saying that it's again the top 2, Liverpool, Man City.
No,
it's
top 2
Spurs
is Liverpool, Spurs, and Man City, then United.
and United. Okay, and United. So you think
Now,
Okay,
but
so
before we
what's the
start
di-
that,
what's the
remember
difference between United. I
remember
mean,
what I said.
we'll
in the
get
gr-
into that. But
remember
please.
what I said in the group chat. Can I change my prediction for
Okay,
United?
so what?
See,
Who's going to
my
United?
my
now?
opinions can change.
You're,
Okay.
you know what? I can't even take you serious right now, bro. And Nick, you're a piece of shit because you start the question and then you start backtracking. You're like, yo, stick to your guns,
See
bro.
how
Just like Diego
easy-
did, stick to
you
his
see
gun,
how
Martinelli.
easy it is when you
It
talk
paid off at the
calmly for the podcast, but it just
I
triggers.
did stick to my guns with Martinelli. Talking about that. I think Martinelli found a new license to go at players, and we saw that against. I made a comment about old man Ayu trying to keep up, but I think that confidence for him to start showing that he's Brazilian, reminding people that he's Brazilian was nice, and then I was ready to revoke his Brazilian citizenship after that miss. Because you had
So
Gabriel
early.
Jesus
Terrible
nutmeg
miss.
someone. He he nutmegged them. He got past the defenders, served up the ball, and it's like you had to finish that. So I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm done with Martinelli. But he came good, and he's on the team.
No respect, Marco. No respect on this podcast.
The idea is no respect, but someone who is getting a lot of respect, and I say this just from that stat perspective, fantasy perspective, is Saliba, who is getting a lot of praise. Yes, I'm still on sitting down with my 10 toes down that it's just one game, but you have to show promise in that one game. You got to show what you got because that's your first chance to impress. And so I'm pretty sure it was something about like the high percentage of completed tackles and interceptions, his positional awareness too. So it looks like they do, at least for the first game, they do deserve that respect. Until at least game week 2, because it sounds like Dyer's making up his mind game week by game week.
Yeah,
So
for real. Don't but actually, you mentioned shouting out Saliba. I thought you were gonna go with a different option, which was Crystal Palace center back
yes,
Anderson.
Anderson.
His
Anderson.
ball playing ability.
Anderson's wild.
He was actually pretty good.
His long balls are very threatening, and
Mhm.
you saw that in the second half. They once they kind of stopped playing zonal and went more direct. That's when a lot more challenges opened up. You saw Anderson get the ball and zip it past to Ayu, and that's where you saw Zinchenko start struggling defensively. He got past him a couple times.
True.
To Zaha. Zaha would, again, he got past 1 or 2 times. Saliba cleaned it up. But still, those were the passes that Anderson was making. And that's somebody who I think, honestly, a team like United could definitely benefit from. A ball playing tall. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, it's
He's a big
partner
guy.
him up with somebody like Martinez. But I could definitely see this guy making a bigger move in the near future.
And then my one up was Saliba. My one down, but not like bad, but like my one worry is looking at Jesus as far as being a mobile striker. So he does operate and give, like, it was crazy to see that fluidity because it was very, very apparent. And you saw these guys constantly switching positions and showing up, like peppering the pitch. When does that, my only question, at least it's just rhetorical, when does that come as maybe a hindrance when they know that he's going to be moving around and he's not a commanding presence as far as being able to get past maybe a team that sets up with a lower block or that's a bit more defensively minded. Obviously with Palace, they like to move forward. You saw Tyreek Mitchell, you saw old ass Nathaniel Klein, who I can't believe he's still
I don't know how he's still there. They have that young forward, and they signed fucking Nathaniel Klein. Shit
Yeah,
like that.
which is funny because it like Nick was making the comments that they have great ballers on that team. They have
do.
good young ballers on that
As
team.
bro.
But I don't know. That was my only I guess question in my head. Like
Sound like Gary Neville
this
right
is
now.
good. Huh?
Sound like Gary Neville right now, but okay.
that was literally that's the only thing that I remember thinking about. Like his mobility is great, and when is it gonna come as a hindrance? It was the only thing that I was like wondering if that was gonna show up someday. I don't know.
He's hoping it shows up one day. That's fair.
Little by little.
That's a fair point.
It's
All
just game week 1.
It is game week 1. It is game week 1. I wanted them to stop the count right there and after the first night, but it just doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. But if you guys have anything else in the game you want to mention, want to talk about Crystal Palace, shouting them out, or what's up?
I want to talk about this and then Palace.
Okay.
You can't fault us for seeing Palace winning though. Like if you think about Brentford last year,
What
right?
was the score? What was the score you gave again?
No,
Okay, I don't mind a
let me
1,
go,
maybe
let me go,
2-1. But give me the score lines. Give me the score lines and remind me again.
3-1 Palace. This is 2-goal deficit.
3-1
bro.
Palace. Okay, what was the score line for him?
2-1 Palace.
I thought it was 3-0.
No,
No, it was
2-1
2-1.
Palace.
Yeah, Dyer said 2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. Okay, that's more respectable. What Diego give?
1-0
I
Palace.
said 1-0 Palace.
No,
Either way,
no
you can't-
attacking threat. You guys don't give respect to the attacking threat. You guys think that we're just a toothless team.
No, it's not.
And
It's,
at that,
it's not
that is
actually on the pitch.
no respect. No respect.
Remember last year, Brentford? It was the same situation.
It was
No,
the
it
same
was not the same
situation.
situation
Yes,
at
it was.
all, dude. I'm saying.
no,
That's
no,
what I'm saying. You're saying about him and
don't bring up the COVID thing. I'm just saying
We
it was
lost-
under the
what are you
floodlights.
talking
Game week
about?
1
Dude.
against
how can
young
you not
core.
bring up? We lost 3 or 4 starters.
No, this is
on the day.
the reason why we all said Palace was going to win.
Why?
Not because of
Why?
Arsenal
Because
situation.
You're
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Arsenal from last season.
Let me go.
No.
The reason why we said Palace was going to win, right? Because we saw that, all right, it's 3 p.m. or it's 8 p.m. In the UK under the floodlights against his Palace team at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, wait.
It was just for me, it looked bound for just to
I
be
guess
like
your
a 2-0.
scoreline bothered me the most because you put no respect on that.
Okay,
that
all right,
defense.
but
You guys
here's the
scored,
thing.
No defense.
I'll tell you
we
this.
got no score. We clean sheet. How many games we
3-1.
got this weekend? What's up? What's up? What's up? We'll talk about that next.
I'll tell you this. If it was at the Emirates, I would have chose Arsenal.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
You
I
wouldn't.
would have. Yes, I
No,
would
you
have.
wouldn't. Oh, it's Arsenal's first game. They'll probably lose.
No,
I
no,
know.
no.
I
I
know.
even
Honestly, I wish it was because I
even
would've
said,
caught you guys
bro,
last
I even said this to Kyle. Like I chose Crystal Palace to win, but if it was at the Emirates, I would have chosen Arsenal to win.
the fact that like 3-1, like
It just
I
like-
respect your score.
I said 2-1.
I respect your score lines because you know what? That's close. You didn't give us a goal, toothless. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. But 3-1,
Hey,
bro.
but you're
3-1.
finding a problem. First,
Put
it's like
some
you didn't give us a
respect.
goal. You didn't give us
Put
a clean
some
sheet.
respect.
This guy wants perfection every time
Bro,
we make Arsenal
Bro,
predictions.
last season we were actually competing for the Golden Glove. So the fact that you guys can't even fathom that thought, put some respect, all right? It's not whatever. Move on. Crystal Palace, the thoughts you had?
I think it's more of a perfect storm. I felt that it was more of a perfect storm for it to be
right?
Okay.
for it to be
Yeah.
like for example, using even United as the butt of the joke, having that a good preseason, and then obviously it's like, oh, something's gonna go wrong.
Yes.
It's getting that pit, like that bottom of your gut feeling.
Classic
like, oh,
Arsenal.
You know what I mean?
know where you're going with it,
Yeah.
and I respect your score lines because it made a close matchup. But this guy, bro,
Bro, it's not that-
this
3-1
guy,
is not that
no
bad, bro.
respect, bro. No respect.
Yo, Chelsea, Tottenham, please, bro.
Chelsea, no.
No respect. Yo, Man City, please. Oh, yeah, he won anyway. So. But all right. So
Next
I think
game.
Crystal Palace?
Oh yeah. Palace more on Eze. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he has to be more imposing. I think he's gotten this like hype because he just looks smooth on the ball, which
Everybody talks about that, bro.
He just
Football
looks
Twitter is
smooth,
flooded
right?
with that.
Look,
Like,
just
this
smooth,
guy's so
right?
silky.
but
His touch, he glides on the pitch.
right. But as a 10, I feel like you need to be I need to see him more imposing. Just like show his presence more in terms of driving at players, being in and around the box. And with Palace itself, like I think the Conor Gallagher loss could be a very
Huge.
very
Oh,
big hindrance because
100%,
apart from Hudson Edouard, you really have no in the box presence. You have Zaha who likes to create from the touchline. You have Eze who likes to get in and around outside the box in little small pockets to receive the ball. Ayu's the only one, but Ayew comes at a detriment. Obviously, Ayew shouldn't be starting for this young core Palace team as well as an Nathaniel.
I mean,
that right side is horrid.
They sold Benteke the morning of. We
Yeah,
got the news that
that-
he fucked off to DC United, so that was crazy.
Bakaka come in late.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Conor Gallagher really
Impacted Crystal
all the
Palace.
way around because from now I don't see them any having that like late runs into the box and box presence,
Which he
and
did a
really
lot,
being
yeah.
there. I don't. We just go like 10 goals
Something
from
like
open
that.
play.
Yeah. Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
so we'll see if they really miss him or not. But yeah.
Fair point. Fair point.
What's your next match on the docket, Eric?
Next match we got. Oh, yes. Fulham 2. Liverpool 2. Eat that, Nick. Eat that. How's that for token on opening day?
Bro.
How's that for token on opening day?
Bro, I'm
Oh, wait,
glad.
under the lights. You went under
I'm
the
glad,
lights.
bro. I'm
It was
glad.
bright morning, and you guys were still asleep.
Bro, I'm glad, bro.
Nah, but on the real, though, like, my biggest question for this game is Klopp has got to be doing this on purpose, right? And
Hey,
by-
bro, the pitch was too
That's
dry.
what I'm saying.
The-
He's
the
got to
pitch
be.
was too
He's got to
dry.
be trolling. This can't be. He can't be serious about this. Like the fact. This has got to be a. He's
He
trolling,
has to
right?
be.
He's
He has to
trolling.
have a lot of sarcasm in his
Yeah,
voice.
I'm saying
like
he has to
very
be trolling.
good.
That can't be his
So
genuine.
you're saying
truth.
like he's like aware of the meta?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think that's the case, Nick?
Whether he knows,
Yeah.
I feel like he has a Twitter account and knows what's going on because the
Burner
other
account, Nick.
You got a burner account
bro,
too,
he
Nick?
might. The other day
You
he
set
was
him
talking
up?
about Liverpool's midfield situation. I'm like, yo, this guy actually might know what's going on football Twitter right now. So
I
don't
mean,
know.
he is the manager, so he better know what the fuck's up with his
So,
club. But as far as like the pitch being dry, like I don't know. I
does
did
that
think
even
that too. I was
mean?
like, there's no way this guy really believes that, and is like actually
No,
coming
I
out.
think
and
in his
saying-
interview he just said the mentality of the players weren't right prior to the game.
And
That
the pictures.
he didn't like the
the pictures.
and he didn't like the attitude of the players. So I normally don't watch post match interviews.
Mm. You don't?
No, I rarely do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought you'd be one big one for
Nah,
that.
I don't know why. I just like once the game finishes, I'll check socials.
Because
an
you usually
opportunity.
win, so you're usually on a happy note. This time you guys
Usually the
But
post
how long-
interviews-
My man's on a FIFA career, very happy every time.
How
Very
long
happy,
is
very happy, very
the
happy.
how long is it until post match interview? Like
It depends on the coach. I
20,
imagine
20,
sometimes
30 minutes.
they could take a long ass
Yeah.
time.
They take
Yeah.
a while.
But
They
usually
take a
they're
while.
reasonable.
I would say between like 8 and 15 is a typical, because they don't really like. There's like the post match conference, but then like the actual like comments, they're there for probably like maybe 5-6 minutes like of actual like answering questions and shit.
I guess I probably don't watch it because Jurgen Klopp is very at least in the public he doesn't say much in terms of he'll state the obvious. Like for example, if a reporter brings up a situation on transfers, he'll just state the obvious. Like he won't, for example, Thomas Tuchel, he'll go into the board or the players and whatnot. Pep Guardiola not so much, but more on Thomas Tuchel. Jurgen Klopp doesn't do that, so I don't really
Well,
pay
speaking
mind
of
to his post match interviews.
speaking of obvious, Darwin Núñez made a big impact. Darwin Núñez to the rescue, and Thiago Silva out with an injury. Overall reaction to why what was he starting for? First of all, I feel like
Who?
he should have been starting.
Who?
Darwin Núñez.
Darwin.
I think it's just a classic case of trying to ease him in, which
Mhm.
it could be a case. I know Andy Robertson and Fabinho took a lot of time to really ease in, but
He
and
looks
their
ready,
respective
man.
cases, they took time to get rhythm. Darwin Núñez scored 4 goals, even though it's preseason against RB Leipzig, and then scored and came on and had a humongous impact against City in the Community Shield. And he just when he came on.
Classic
But-
Liverpool choking in the opening day.
Well,
It's actually the opposite, to be fair.
Recently, Nick. Recently, enjoy it. All right.
But yeah, I don't know why he started Firmino. I think Firmino's well past his best.
Bro, I'm telling you, it was like one of those like he dapped him up like, all right, bro.
Oh, remember I said it the night before.
This is your last chance. It's the last dance for you, Bobby.
I said it the night before. I was like, I swear, if this guy starts Henderson and Firmino, I'm gonna lose it. I didn't lose it, obviously, but I just didn't understand. the
Henderson
reason.
almost got you the game, bro. What do you mean?
I'm so glad I didn't score that. Well, I thought Fulham
Hashtag
actually.
agenda, bro.
Yo,
Hashtag
the agenda
agenda.
is
Honestly,
strong, bro.
I'll get onto that. After. Actually, Fulham played pretty well. They set up in the mid block. I thought they compacted the space, particularly in the midfield as well. And Roberto Firmino, when you're playing a false 9, right? The whole point of it is for the player to drop in deep and create numerical advantages in the midfield, right? When you go up against a mid block, the mid block will always have the numerical advantage, no matter what. If you have a false 9 dropping in deep, so whenever Firmino would drop in deep, Liverpool's midfield would still be outnumbered due to Fulham's mid block, and particularly on Fulham's mid block. I thought Joao Paulinho, who just came in from Sporting,
Nuts.
I'm surprised he went to Fulham.
Yeah.
Wolves
Good.
lost out on that deal. Tremendous ball winner. I don't know
Nuts.
how Fulham got him, but
All over the midfield.
he
All
really
over.
showed his. I
Mhm.
think it was on a cheap as well, but I don't know if you guys know him.
It
FC
was
Wonder
20,
Kid.
20 mil.
Yeah, FC Wonder Kid, the Nunes.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like that's like his boy, like Joao Paulinho, but
Portuguese, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought Fulham set up pretty well. I thought Liverpool's players, at least individually, played pretty poor. I thought Van Dijk had a pretty poor game. Trent, Matip as well.
Oh, Van
especially-
Dijk getting cut up by Mitrovic, bro. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah. There's this.
He followed him on Twitter, on Instagram, bro.
I know.
He
He
followed him.
got the cosign.
He
So.
got the
got
cosign,
the
it's over.
cosign.
It's coming.
But I thought Matip had a poor game specifically on the ball. He's normally good at line breaking passes, but he gave up the ball 5 to 6 times. And prior to, what was it? I think it was Mitrovic's goal or Mitrovic's penalty and then the goal. Prior to Matip gave the ball away. Now let's get started on the real topic: Liverpool's midfield situation.
Oh shit.
Their starting captain, number 14, Jordan Henderson. Why he is starting, I do not know. The
Huh.
amount of PR that this guy gets is ridiculous. I do not understand it. And it's not an agenda. I swear, it is not an agenda. It should be common knowledge. But unfortunately, outside of Liverpool's fan base, I want to say 80% of majority of Liverpool's fan base around the world generally rates this guy and thinks that he's good enough to start as right-sided 8 for Liverpool. The guys, his legs are cooked. He hasn't been the same for 2 years, right?
Not an agenda. Just a reminder.
It's
It's
not
reminder.
an
no,
agenda.
no, come on, no.
All right, no.
He's
Continue.
literally-
Continue.
he's literally,
continue.
You can't genuinely say that he's not good. He's getting in the team because he's rated by the manager. He's good.
No, he's
You
not.
cannot say he's not.
He's not. He's not. If you actually watch him on the pitch,
He got that dog in him,
no,
bro.
let me go. The only reason why he's on the pitch is his quote unquote intangibles. Actually, on the football pitch, the only actual thing that he offers is off the ball runs, which don't make up for his laundry list of fucking cons that he offers on the pitch. Let's go on to that cons, right? His legs are cooked. He hasn't been the same since 18-19 or 19-20.
Mm-hmm.
Even as an 8, he hasn't for his whole Liverpool career. His best position was as a 6, which he should be right now as a backup 6 for Fabinho. On the ball, he's not good enough. He just hoofs it. He's not good enough in tight spaces. He fucks up the triangle with Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. He basically plays as a right-sided 10 in possession. Why do you want Jordan Henderson as a right-sided 10? I don't know what the guy offers to his team, and I find it very, very strange how people still rate this guy and they still think he is still good enough to start as a right-sided 8 for Liverpool Football Club. I really don't understand. I really don't understand. And Michael Edwards, I'm sure you guys know Liverpool are very against giving 30-plus-year-olds contracts,
Yes.
i.e. Gini Wijnaldum. Michael Edwards and co. did not want to offer Jordan Henderson a new contract, right? Because he was 30-plus. They knew his legs were cooked. Jurgen Klopp wanted Jordan Henderson to stay. And he still consistently starts Jordan Henderson. I don't know why. You have the likes of Harvey Elliott. You have the likes of Naby Keita, who are technically more supreme players than Jordan Henderson. People say, oh, but Jordan Henderson's pressing. His pressing numbers are literally garbage. Go look at his FB ref. They're fucking garbage. The guy is cooked.
Bro, he's cooked, but he has the best availability.
He's also injured, bro.
But
And he hasn't been the same since he got the injury Everton away in 2021 in February. The guy is cooked. I really find it strange.
Yeah, but
I really hope the masses will wake up to this
He's your
guy.
captain,
Jordan
though.
Henderson.
Who else is gonna give you those slow mo caps?
Come on, intangibles. Like, you know how bad it is when they come out with actual compilations of him screaming on the football pitch. It was
passion.
It was Atalanta away.
Passion merchant, bro.
Passion,
Come
bro.
on.
I don't understand it. Like, generally, James Milner, who is 36 years old, who shouldn't be playing for Liverpool, is actually a better footballer than him. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't know why. I don't know why this guy keeps starting
James
as a right
fucking
side
Milner.
The masses need to wake up. To
If Jordan Henderson ever sees
I don't rate him. He shouldn't be starting as an 8.
Oh.
He never is an 8. He should be a backup 6, and I frankly don't know why Jurgen Klopp keeps picking him. So,
Damn. So Jordan Henderson, you heard it here first, man. You gotta go.
You're
Can
cooked.
someone here?
So your legs are cooked, my man.
Everyone knows who I at least follow on the fan base on socials know this. The guy is just he's well past it. He's well past it. And then what pisses me off about him? The guy. So for example, he tries to do a through ball to Darwin Núñez, right? What the fuck, right? And then he does the same to 10 other players. Like, for example, if he screams to Thiago, who Jordan Henderson doesn't even have an ounce of Thiago's footballing ability, how are you screaming to that guy? Like, imagine you being Thiago and you being scolded by Jordan fucking Henderson.
I can imagine when he was yelling at him.
Stop getting injured! I don't understand it. Jordan Henderson doesn't have an ounce of footballing ability.
It's that leadership trait,
And
bro.
I'll give you this. What? I don't. Van Dijk is literally the leader on the pitch. You
I
can see
mean,
that.
yeah, you could argue that.
really see
You
that.
could argue that.
The way he marshals the back line. What the fuck did Jordan Henderson marshal? Oh, Salah. Come on. Salah, who's a supremely better footballer than you. Thiago, who's a supremely better footballer than you. I don't want. I really don't understand.
Bro. Team spirit.
Put him into the James Milner role where he's not consistently starting games, right? And then also,
Squad player.
let's go through Man City's squad, right? In my opinion, Liverpool have a better starting 11 than Man City. But the one place where Man City absolutely triumphed Liverpool is right-sided 8, where it's Kevin De Bruyne in another universe, right? And it's Jordan Henderson, which I don't even know if it's considered Earth.
Damn.
Jesus fuck.
Man City, right? Man City
The
don't.
abyss of hell.
Man City don't win the league based on their depth. You win the league based on your starting 11, i.e. Liverpool competing with them based on their starting 11 because Liverpool's depth has never been as good as Man City's, right? 2 out of the times, the gap between Kevin De Bruyne and Jordan Henderson is humongous. That's Liverpool's literally only glaring weakness. If you're going around Europe, there's not a top team with more of a glaring weakness than Liverpool's right-sided 8 right now, whether it's Jordan Henderson, whether it's James Milner, whether it's Harvey Elliott, more than Liverpool Football Club. So, for example, let's go with Man City. I already have their 11. Mars is probably the only weakness. Mars is a phenomenal footballer. Who else? Real Madrid, probably their right winger, right? Asensio, Rodrigo. They're still decent footballers. Asensio put up like 10 plus non-penalty goals last season, right? Bayern Munich, their weak link is probably what? Probably maybe Niklas Süle, who just went to Dortmund. He's still a decent center back. Jordan Henderson, I really don't know what the guy offers, and I quite hopefully Frank Jurgen Klopp does not continue to pick him, please.
Well,
Guys, you guys may seem that I'm actually being like trolly. This guy
nah,
is.
we know you
I'm being-
don't rate him. We know you don't rate him. You've been very clear about your
Most
agenda.
people shouldn't. If if any Liverpool fan is watching here, please message me what Jordan Henderson is good at. Oh, actually, footballing ability.
Oh wow.
Team spirit. All right. But look. You say that there's one glaring weakness that Liverpool have. I see it too, because Mitrovic exposed it.
Mm.
Will he prove the doubters wrong this season?
I don't think so.
Probably not. It's another.
I
case
think he's
again.
leaner. I think he's leaner. Like going from Liverpool's cons to some of Fulham's like pros on what they had. Mitrovic definitely looked leaner. He definitely looked quicker on the ball. He definitely looked a lot more, I guess, involved in the play. Palhinha was another one.
Huge man.
I thought also, didn't they also put on this little kid? Jesus, I don't remember his name, but Andres Pereira on at least making runs to cross the ball in. He
Yep.
looked at least involved. Those are some of the good things that Fulham did on that day. And so I think that at least that quickness could be the thing that exposed what Van Dijk wasn't expecting. I also, giving Van Dijk credit, I would not expect someone like Mitrovic to fucking run at me and then do like a quick cut and then take those extra 2 steps to draw the foul.
That was clean.
It was a good movement by Mitro.
I think you might see a lot of that Pereira far post to Mitrovic this season.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
gonna be a key
I'm
play.
also biased against Mitrovic because I have seen the compilation specifically of his 30 record-breaking 40-something goals in the EFL last season, and some of them were just ridiculous, like mistakes and errors by the opposition team. So I don't think that's gonna happen this season. But you know what? He's already there and he's doing it. So I think that's a big plus.
It already happened with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, one thing with Liverpool that Fulham, which really surprised me against Liverpool, is that they were very brave with the high press, which is
They
not
are.
something I
Yeah,
think.
they were swarming.
I don't think Liverpool were expecting that.
Mm.
So that may have been kind of flipped the script and got the motivation behind the to win in their sales, as they say.
Well,
Yeah, they looked
I-
asleep.
I just want to comment on Trent Alexander-Arnold because both, I guess, attacks for the goals did happen on the right side. So he continues to show that
Second goal wasn't.
The penalty.
the cross when he
Oh,
he
that
got
Mitrovic
beat
was
out
above him.
on the header,
yeah.
and the other one, it came from his side where Van Dijk committed the foul. So like I
don't know. Maybe if Matip didn't give him the ball in his
I
own
mean
half.
yeah of course
True.
Position,
but I'm
yeah.
just saying that I mean it's kind of, how can I put this? Trent Alexander-Arnold only provides on the attack every single time with the assists, with the goals,
On that,
but on defense I mean
on
I
the
don't know.
Mitrovic goal, I expect every single Premier League right back, probably except Tomiyasu, to get completely outjumped by Mitrovic on the back post, where he's holding your hands on your shoulder
Yeah, he
when
did.
your back
he
is
did, he
turned
did, he
towards
did,
his
he did, he
chest.
did.
Like I expect mostly every single right back to get outjumped by Mitrovic, where the attacker literally he jumps, he rises, and he puts both of his hands on the opposition defender's shoulders. For me, I expect Mitrovic is what 6'2".
Well, one thing I would agree with that. I do think Trent could do better. Not saying he's an out jumping, but he could positionally put him off,
What
box him out a little bit more,
Yeah,
do
box him
something
out a little
more.
more.
But
Sure.
one thing I do want to say about Trent, I was thinking about this because I did want to bring it up too. Well, yeah, I'm happy you did bring it up. How old is he?
24, 23.
Dude, he's far from his prime still, and the defensive
Yeah, like
game
he
is
still has
only
time to
gonna
be able
improve.
to improve on that. of
But I
course.
do agree that there is a switch that goes off every now and then defensively. But I mean, yeah, he's gonna be.
Like if he was great defensively, he'd generally be a cheat code. Like there's you just,
It would be completeness.
it would be completely unfair. Like gotta if you believe in God, whatever.
A higher power,
Whatever.
of course.
Right.
Footballing
Higher power.
gods.
He was gifted by
Whatever.
footballing
You either have
God.
this or you have
Yeah,
that. If he has his supreme great offensive ability that he already possesses, and he has some great defensive ability, he'd be probably the greatest right back of
Yeah.
all time already.
I do want to shout out though to close out the game. Fucking Darwin Nunez trying twice to do the fucking backheel goal. Like that's.
He was still lucky.
I think
the second
I
one
think
that
it-
was
it-
luck.
I
was
think
luck.
yes, the goal was luck, but it shows his industry that even though he fluffed the first one, he's like, I'll
still
fucking
doing
do it again,
Got it.
and I'll do it
It's
again.
an XG magnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
See that.
going to be a scary one to watch. But yes, so let's move on to quick little rundown on the other games. Bournemouth beat underwhelming Aston Villa 2-0. Stevie G, raising some questions.
No.
First game.
First
Yeah,
game.
we'll give him first game benefit.
Now there's questions.
Oh,
There's questions.
all right. There's questions. We'll hold on to those questions when it comes to a different. We'll see how. Let's give him a few more game weeks. Just like
Yeah.
Arsenal, give him a few more game weeks. Leeds beat Wolves
That was
2-1.
that was a tough one to pick.
Wolves are very toothless without a striker, man. They're gonna struggle a lot. And how long is Jimenez out for?
At least 6 weeks. But I think they just said that so it doesn't look as bad when he's actually out for 8, maybe more.
Oh, Thiago's out for 6 weeks, right? I saw that.
Yeah, he's out for 6 weeks.
That's rough. But yeah, good on Leeds. You saw Jesse Marsh and Bruno Lage.
Oh,
going
yeah.
at it.
That,
what was
that I
that
did want to
about?
bring up.
What was that
And
about? I
Bruno
still
Lage
have
was
yet to
like,
find anything
"Oh,
about that.
I don't like when people say negative things to me, but I'm not gonna comment on it. I'm not gonna say what he said." It's like you're talking about it right now. You might
Yeah.
as well let us know, like what
was
did
that?
he actually say? Like, did he say like your mom or something? Or your mom a joke or something? Like
They were going at it, bro.
they were.
screaming.
I did not expect
Well,
that.
from what I remember before they cut the camera off was that Jesse Marsh went to shake the hand and then they pan the camera back and all I see is yelling, but no one still knows what happened.
No. You speak about my mother. You speak about my mother. Something like that, bro.
Jesse Marsh was like, you know where I'm from, dog. You know where I'm from, dog. No, but honestly, Jesse Marsh's passion is definitely making me more interested in Leeds and see what he's gonna do there. Marco, Leeds is your second team, right? How did you feel watching that result?
Second team, Marco.
He picked
Not
up
second team, but
It's
he
not
likes
second
Leeds.
team. I like him. I like
All right,
him.
fine. Soft spot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a soft spot for Leeds. Yes.
he
Okay,
picked
cool,
them
cool,
to be relegated.
I know, right?
But and I also said
No
it-
respect, man.
Did
No respect.
you hear what I said before? I hate what I'm about to say.
You still said it though.
I just said it. I had to, bro. I'm
No respect,
but-
bro.
He's
No
just- he's
respect.
just trying to do.
I'm putting those negative thoughts out there so that they prove me wrong, bro. Come on, man.
All right,
That's how
cool,
this
cool,
world
cool.
works.
All right.
But
Reverse
anyway,
psychology.
I know. Bro, it was entertaining to watch. I did watch this game.
They're nuts. These games
Um,
continue to be nuts.
Yeah, bro. Even having what's his name? No. The previous coach,
Oh, but
Bielsa?
Bielsa. Even I have Bielsa, which is all attack and no defense. Now it's a little more reserved, but still, it's very, very, very interesting. And I liked it. I was pleasantly surprised. I know that there's a lot that they have to still work on, but overall, I think they did a really, really solid job. Of course, they're missing Rafinha, but I think they'll figure something out that will help them for the rest of the season.
All right. The American scored a goal, but it got taken away.
Yeah,
It
it got
was an own goal.
got chalked as an own goal for Brendan Aronson. But apparently, for at least what Leeds forums were saying, and I just noticed through like the fantasy chatter that a lot of people are taking a liking to, I guess, the work rate that Brendan Aronson brings,
That's awesome.
and seeing Tyler Adams getting his first yellow the very first game
No
of
surprise
the
there.
season. So it just shows that they're gonna probably rely on grit more than anything. I think it'll just make their games much more interesting to watch.
That's a fair point. Fair point.
If Aronson bangs in the Premier League, that pretty much confirms that RB Salzburg are humongous outlet outside of the Bundesliga because maybe Benjamin Sesko
Yeah,
went to
Sesko's
RB
leaving,
Leipzig
yeah.
today.
Yep.
Haaland banged in the Bundesliga. Karim Adeyemi, who they just sold to Dortmund this past summer. Benjamin Sesko just went to Leipzig.
It's Salzburg, isn't it?
No,
it's
no,
Salzburg
no.
from Austria.
Yeah, from Austria.
It's a Red Bull.
Yeah, the Red Bull
Network.
thing.
Did Mane come from Salzburg?
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. He went to, I think he was from Metz to Salzburg to Southampton, and he banged as well. It pretty much shows that these players who come out of RB Salzburg don't really need rhythm to get up to speed to the league. So that this is with Aronson balling out in the Premier League. So if he does ball out, then that RB Salzburg is that's crazy.
It's a good
where
exporter,
they
bro.
can. It's they don't just perform in the Bundesliga where they obviously export their players mostly too, but they perform outside of any other top 4 leagues.
With the exclusion of Havertz, but yeah.
Havertz.
Havertz.
Havertz?
Yeah.
No, like Salzburg.
Well, I thought it was Red Bull Network in general.
No.
No. He's talking just
Salzburg
Salzburg, like
specifically?
independently,
Yeah.
being a good exporter of like I guess talent. They're
No, but like
you got a
outside
point.
the Bundesliga.
Yeah, you got a point though.
If
You got a point.
Aronson does bang. But yeah.
All right. Nottingham Forest get welcome to the Premier League with a nice 2-0 loss to Newcastle United. Did you guys watch that game? Did you
Saw the highlights and who scored the banger? Was that?
Oh, Fabian Schär.
Schär?
There's a back-to-back online of him scoring the exact same goal. I don't remember for what season, but it was like
I was hearing the podcast. It was against Burnley.
against
I was hearing
Burnley.
the podcast.
It's like literally the same run off the right channel, cutting inside a little bit, and just lets it fucking rip from like I'd say like 26, 28 yards out.
Yeah. That's pretty. I didn't. Who was it?
Fabian Schär,
I didn't see it.
the Swiss guy, the Swiss defender.
I don't know who said it on Sky. Was it on Sky or I forget who said it on what though about Nottingham Forest? How they acquired a lot of players this offseason, but they're fearful that they acquired too many players. So it's a brand new team coming into the Premier League, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays out later on the season. So 2-0 loss to Newcastle United. Next, Spurs. 4-1 to Southampton. I saw that early goal. I got excited. I was like, yes, Spurs are back. But then a quick realization came to me that it's no longer just Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. It's Kane, Son, and Kulusevski.
Yeah, Kulusevski, bro.
That front three, I'm going to start off with this question, then just take it from there.
Okay.
Where do you rate this front three right now for Spurs amongst the Premier League?
I mean, the front three pretty much started as soon as Kulusevski came into the team in a winter transfer season. So
since then,
he's played total of 19 games and has had 6 goals and nine assists, either one.
Yeah.
But looking at them, they're definitely going to be a dangerous front three. I mean, like Nick said to me before, that with Lucas Moura and Bergwijn, they couldn't provide the goals and the passes that Harry Kane and Heung-min Son needed in order on the attack. But Kulusevski, he opens up the play. He opens up positions where Kane could position himself either at the top of the 6, at the 12, at the 18-yard line. Doesn't matter. Son could position himself at far post, wherever, because they know what Kulusevski can provide. And he almost did that. I mean, Kane had a couple of chances. They were blocked or off target, as well as Son. But Kulusevski has definitely made the front three very dangerous for this season. I mean, it started last season, like I said, and it was dangerous. But now, the fact that you have him for the entire season, I'm excited.
I was looking at a heat map and I saw Harry Kane would kind of drop in a little bit deeper, and Heung-min Son and Kulusevski, he has runners, and we all know Harry Kane can pick out a pass.
Yeah.
So that front three, rating them against Liverpool, Man City's.
They could definitely. Are you challenging
for anything this year with that front three?
They better.
They have to, and I think they will. To be quite honest, I think
Famous last words.
no. I think Spurs front three is more dangerous than City's front three. The only reason why I say that is because Jack Grealish, Haaland did show that he is capable, but can he stay consistent? And Phil Foden, he's really young. Mahrez, I feel like he would be a better starter than Foden.
On the left,
right wing,
on the right,
yeah, right wing. What was that?
On the right,
well, on the right, yeah, because that's where Foden was. He was on the right, and Grealish was on the left. I think for Man City, Foden should be on the left.
Yeah,
and keep Jack Grealish off. But anyways, I feel like Spurs have a better front three than Man City, than United, maybe the same as Liverpool. Even though they lost Mane, but they're up there. They're definitely up there.
Nick, you have Darwin Nunez, and you have, I mean, honestly, if you look at the front three, they're very similar in a sense.
Ooh.
Between Liverpool and Spurs. I mean, maybe Harry Kane being obviously the veteran, more experienced, and probably overall can just pick out a pass more than Darwin Nunez. I don't know yet. I haven't seen Darwin Nunez play that much yet, but how do you feel when you look at that Spurs front three? Are you like, oh shit, this is actually?
Oh, no, Spurs have the best front three in the world of football right now.
Ooh. Damn!
Okay.
Clip that! Put some respect, Nick. Put some respect.
I felt that. I felt that.
Tell me someone better.
Huh?
That's fair.
Let's go through, right? Real Madrid, right? Vini, Benzema, Vinicius / Rodrigo. Rodrigo / Asensio, right? Barcelona, they're fluctuating, but it'll probably be if he's fit, Ansu Fati, Lewandowski, and then one of the Dembele and Rafinha. Bayern Munich, Kingsley Coman, Sadio Mane, and then one of Gnabry, Leroy Sané. Liverpool right now, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Mohamed Salah. City, Phil Foden, in my opinion, on the left. Erling Haaland on top, Riyad Mahrez on the right. It's me right now. I don't see it.
Martinelli, Jesus. No respect. No respect.
They're not there yet. They're not.
We want to win there, all right? What did Liverpool do? I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit.
All right, I guess you got to include in there Martinelli, Jesus,
Thank you.
and Saka.
There you go.
Marco, you're gonna cut that out, right? You're gonna cut it out.
A little addendum.
Without a doubt,
No
those Spurs have
respect.
the best front
I'll tell
three.
you, this is hashtag agenda
That's
here.
crazy,
Hashtag
bro.
agenda.
I
You can't tell me
I-
you can't tell me your front three is better.
I
right
know.
now.
Listen, I can't. I'm agreeing with you. I can't. I just think the thought of that is nuts. To hear that they're gonna have that they have currently the best front three in the world, and they're still gonna finish the season
And-
trophyless.
wow.
Individually, they don't, but as a collective unit, they do, in my opinion. Individually, you can go PSG, Mbappe, Messi, Neymar individually, right? But if you go as a collective unit on current form for 2022 calendar year, Spurs have scored actually the most goals in the Premier League in the calendar year of
Yeah,
2022,
they
ahead
have.
of Man City and ahead of
I saw that
Liverpool.
stat too. That was like, oh, Kulusevski has scored. Has the most assists in 2022, as far as like the calendar year in the Premier League.
Well,
Kulusevski.
Maybe not you, but are we worried right now?
I think so.
I'm
I
worried.
think if anything,
think-
they have a project that actually works. Them bringing on Perisic for those few minutes and seeing what he can do. Ryan Sessegnon, I think, is still too rough. But he did score his goal. He almost scored a second.
Mhm.
So I think clearly he knows, like, oh shit, he got that fire on his ass. That he has someone who's proven, who's probably going to keep him out of the team. Maybe in a season where he knows that Reguilon isn't the favorite, that he doesn't like using them. So they have a project. They have a project that they can actually build on.
Yeah, they do.
But thankfully, it's Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, to reflect on the game, I think as I wasn't worried as soon as James Ward-Prowse scored. It was a good goal. I'll give him that. But I was not worried because I just felt like Spurs would definitely come back and they exactly did.
There's still a lot of football left.
And to be quite honest, it should have ended maybe 3-1 if it wasn't for that terrible own goal from what
From
was his name?
Salisu, yeah.
Yeah, it was like he tried to
On
toe
his side.
poke it out. He tried to toe poke it out, but
Missed
he kicked too
completely.
quick that it hit the inside of his foot and went in.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of professionals, and then again, everybody's only human. But I was really, really happy of how Spurs bounced back after going down 1-0. With the Dyer's goal, and to me, he's the worst player on Spurs pitch, and he fucking scores. I was so happy that he's proving me wrong. But then again, it's only game week 1. So Son, he was a little bit lost, not gonna lie, and Kane was pretty unlucky. There was a point where Son could have passed it to Kane, but decided to be selfish, and he fucking rocked at it. And good things are gonna happen. Good things are gonna happen.
I just
Yeah, well,
I'm
let's
talking
go
my
through
shit because I know I'm gonna get shit on in a few minutes, so that's why I'm getting my licks in right now. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, coming back, like, bro, you can't be. I'm not gonna be looking at going 1-0 down to Southampton as if you're Spurs as like,
At home.
the
I
greatest,
wasn't
the
worried.
greatest mountain you had to ever climb. Like, what an adversary.
I wasn't worried.
It's not Istanbul. It's not like, come on, like a Champions League comeback. I mean, yes, it was. There was still a lot of football to be made. I think Ward-Prowse capitalized on something that has happened to Spurs, where they fall asleep as far as picking up the loose runner, because he was open.
Yeah.
And he had enough time to realize, not taking credit away from the baller that Ward-Prowse is on his technical ability, but he had enough time to be like, okay, I'm going to receive this ball, up my body a little bit, hit it into the ground to make it harder for the goalie. Like, he had all that time to make that decision. And so, and I'm just pissed off because Kane didn't give me shit in my fantasy. That's why. That's why I'm pissed off.
I feel you on
Okay?
that.
Well,
Because I
who
gave him the
told you-
vote of confidence. You scored 4 goals, and your 2 main men aren't on the score sheet.
That's true. Fair point. Fairs.
Who
Fairs.
told you- Well, Son got an assist.
No, but forget Son. Forget Son. He's too
Who
expensive
wanna go?
anyway.
Who told-
Who
who
He's
told
too expensive
you-
for no goals.
He's too
Who-
expensive. He's too
okay, who-
expensive for no goals.
All right, like Fernando said in the group chat, Kane always sucks in August. So
16th best player in the Premier League.
Oh my god. Well, you know what else sucked? Everton versus Chelsea.
that game was boring.
A snooze fest.
It was-
That game was.
It
I
was
think
terrible.
so.
The only highlight was what?
No, starting
Can we talk about Werner going back already? Werner getting
Yeah.
sold
flop?
for pennies on a dollar, bro?
Flop.
Come on, bro.
Flop,
Went
flop,
back
flop.
to Leipzig.
Flop City, baby. Come on,
Flop,
man.
flop city, bitch. All right. I think this game was a perfect example of what their preseason looked like.
Yes.
No
Yes.
preparation, no identity yet. Chelsea got the 1-0, but Nosue said the biggest outcome of this game was Sterling getting a 2-pump chump behind him.
The arch.
Sterling getting his arch exposed.
Yo, that arch though.
It's kind of brazy.
But
Hey, yo.
nothing really to talk about that game. Frank Lampard should get sacked already, but he's still there for some reason. Tuchel, we'll see what incomes they have. We have some treasure talk at the very end, real quick. But
Connor Cody getting signed? Do you
To
think the
Everton.
injury to Ben Godfrey triggered that, or was
Yeah.
that something in the works?
Yeah. It was something in the works as well, but then I also think Wolves wanted to offload him because they've actually have a pretty good center back and
He's
defensive
old.
core now.
He's old, no? He's only like
he's
33.
old and he's also a terrible footballer. So
all right, so let's talking about you know what? Talking about terrible football. Leicester pulling a Leicester to the Brentford. Ivan Toney stepping it up, continues to impress. And Leicester have yet to make any solid recruitment, with the likelihood of there still being some big outgoings going on. So keep an eye on Leicester. They may be selling their way down to the relegation fight. Now, I mean, I don't even know where to start off with this, but I didn't think I was going to see this come back.
Oh, I was way off. Connor Cody's 29. Sorry, Cody, you're still garbage, but you're not old.
you're young and garbage.
That's almost worse.
Yeah.
Like, at least you can use the excuse of old age. But
Yeah.
anyway, Connor Cody, side note.
How old is Fred?
Fred is
Yeah.
30, bro.
Damn, really?
Fred is probably.
I was
I,
a whole-
I
I
don't know
was-
when his birthday is, but I'm pretty sure he's
Wait,
going to be
Fred,
31.
like United Fred?
Yes, United Fred.
He's not. No way. He's 30.
Yes.
No
Let's see.
way, bro.
I know this only because of FIFA career mode, thankfully.
Oh, Nick is
Oh my God,
confirming.
he's 29.
He's
but
29.
gonna
holy
be 30,
shit, I thought
yeah.
he was younger.
He'll be 30 next year.
Well, look, I didn't expect I was going to see McFred back in the midfield under the Erik and Hag era, but that was the first thing in the lineup. And Diego, what was your reaction when you saw that? And talk to me about the.
I think it was more of the same, bro. I think it was more of the same, and it's always what did my brother said something that was pretty funny. He's like, man, it's always against Brighton that these fools turn into fucking veggies into like they just like shrink because bro, the most terrible. Like, I think that was probably out of all the multiverses that were possible for United, they picked like probably the most terrible one, because on top of the fact that it was a loss to Brighton, on top of the fact that they played terribly, on top of the fact that it was another, like, you know, the famous record breaking, the first time Brighton have ever won at Old Trafford. That always seems to freaking happen with these guys. I think from a lot of people say, and I'll parrot this because I've read it and I agree with it, that the only relief I get is that at least Ten Hag saw this early, and he didn't get like a false sense of like, oh, I can actually depend on these guys to put in a shift. It's like, no, these guys are all like disjointed, terrible. There's there's a screen grab, or at least a still, where McTominay is in the final third. He has two runners on his left, two runners on his right,
Check the chops it.
and then he ends. They're like, from this play, McTominay ended it with a yellow card in midfield, and it's like, bro, oh my god, man, it was terrible. It was terrible. And then the worst part is, I think the worst part for Ten Hag personally is that he dropped Ronaldo, kept on the bench, looked terrible, put Ronaldo on, and then they improved a little bit because Brighton finally had someone to worry about. They weren't scared of that team at all.
Dude, they, for the majority of the game, they were 3 in the back.
No, they were I can't even deny that Brighton were fucking dominating as far as how they were set up with
Diamonds
their
everywhere.
triangles and diamonds everywhere. And that's a lot. That's also something that I saw. I saw a video about that, at least as far as giving Graham Potter his flowers on how he's organizing that team, losing Cucurella, losing Bissouma, not having a recognized striker, benching Mopé, putting Trossard as a fullback. So dude, it worked beautifully for him, and he knows, at least it shows that Potter knows what he's working with, and he knows how to adapt his tools. I think for Ten Hag, it was more of this reality check, really a reality check, to be like, this is what I'm working with. And honestly, I don't even want to, like, the goal they scored was really a lucky own goal, bouncing off the back of the low. I thought that they definitely improved once Ronaldo came on, but again, it's only because there was finally a threat for them to worry about, and maybe it gave some of the other players a bit more freedom to run.
Well, false nine for Eriksson was kind of interesting. When he dropped to 6, that definitely helped out a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you like that possibility of Eriksson maybe playing the 6 with Bruno and who's the eight?
It scares me because I don't see Eriksson as this crazy ball winner, bro. Like, and then it's like
True. Fair.
on top of the fact that like I don't know what the veracity is as far as like his health issues,
Mm,
but I'm not gonna lie, that's always gonna be in the back of my head, no matter
course.
what.
Of course.
And it's not like I'm expecting something like catastrophic to happen mid game, but it's like, does he have it in him to be as hardworking to not only spray the ball but do interceptions,
Yeah.
but make plays? I think it was like, all right, I'm gonna try him for 45 minutes as a 9. That didn't work. Let me put him 45 minutes as a 6. Put someone else that can be the reference point, and that worked much better. But then you lose someone that needs to be a ball winner, and then we see all these freaking players. This is the last thing I want to say because the rumors about Marko Arnautovic bid, Rabiot bid is
Yeah, that was a question for later on, but we'll talk about real quick about the
Bro.
recruitment.
terrible.
About Rabiot as well, right?
Terrible. You probably have dozens of analysts at that fucking club, and someone literally like the idea that someone came up like with a piece of paper is like, here, I just scouted this guy. I think he'd be a great fit, bro. Please.
All right, so you're a United fan. Transfer window's coming to an end. Ronaldo, rumors are he's looking to still get out of the club. Who knows if that's true or not? We'll see if that even happens. If it's a reality, it does happen. You're going into the season with just Martial. Do you sign these players?
Nah, man.
You just
I
suck it up. and
Marco's
wait
a
for-
racist little bitch. First of all, I'm gonna say that with my
Fairs.
chest.
Fairs.
Marco Arnautovic. Poor Marco's like me? No, not you, bro. The Austrian bro. And like he's already been involved in controversial shit. I don't want Marco anywhere near the team. And then already seeing like, granted, I don't watch Adrian Rabiot, but already like, of course, as soon as someone's linked, you're gonna get all the stuff that he's been involved in coming out and posted. What was it? Bottom 40% central midfielders in Serie A. Like
Juve
the
is
slowest
gladly
league.
getting
Come
rid of
on,
him.
bro. No
Yeah.
way. The only benefit that I have right now, or the only respite, is like, okay, it's not like this is deadline day week.
Yeah.
And then these names comes up. At least there's 3 weeks and change for him to work with and get someone better. I would like to trust and think that, okay, maybe Ten Hag has identified something with these players that they can bring to the, but no, man, no way. I don't want them anywhere near the club. It's and it just makes it look dumb, bro. It makes everybody look dumb.
What are your final expectations going into the transfer window after seeing this start to the season?
I think it's catching up to them, and this is something that I read. It was probably conspiracy theory time, but it also probably is real that all of the bad business that they've done over the years is catching up to them and biting them in the ass. Because what were the numbers involved with these signings? 8 million for Arnautovic that was rejected, and I think maybe like just shy of 20 for Rabiot. Like they're clearly looking for cut rate players because of all the bad business and millions that they splurged on players that did not work. And the other crazy thing, talking about the striker thing, it's like they're looking at the ages for the number 9s, or at least in that position that they've signed over the years. Falcao was over 30. Sanchez, when he came, was over 30. Zlatan was over 30. And it's like that's been for the last 5 years where they're like, oh, we're going to sign someone short term so we can look at the long term. You could have already put someone in there. And then I look, coincidentally, ironically, at the likes of Nunez, who's young. He's probably going to be there for a good freaking block of years, and he's going to run the shit out of that team. I just like, man, what a shitty Sunday. God damn it, United. It's going to be a long fucking season. It's going to be a long fucking season because all the other good players, that's the other thing. The commentators during the game were like, "Oh, Caicedo.
Yeah,
he was
like,
offered
all over.
and he was given to them, and they had problems with like his agent or some shit, and they didn't want to sign him. Everyone else is also taken in that department that we could need someone to sit, block, do the heavy work. I mean, come on, it's my fucking the one silver lining that I saw literally was just Eriksson's ball playing ability combined with some of Lisandro's work rate as far as being able to be present and directing his interceptions, his headed balls, his passes. He did at least 2 or 3 really good passes. I was like, that's nice to see in a center back that can help expand a little bit. But
You touched on Martinez.
more the
and
same.
Quickly touch on him real quick, and then we'll go to Sancho on the wing. But Martinez, think he had an overall decent game. Maybe he looked back because of Maguire's few chances, but how do you view his performance? And Nick, I know you have some thoughts on his future in the Premier League.
I
So
thought
want to get your thoughts too.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay only because he wasn't really given much to work with. I think again, Maguire was making mistakes trying to cover for people when he shouldn't have. He needs to learn that lesson the hard fucking way. And then that's really it. I was only at least one thing I did say, and I remember seeing where he was like drifting, looking at the pitch. He was like drifting on like the United's left channel in the defensive third, and he got quickly just marked by two Brighton players, closed in on him, and he turned once, he turned again, and there was a second guy. He just got pushed, shoved, like literally just brushed off the ball, and it's like, well, you gotta welcome to the Premier League, Michael. Like you can't be dallying on the ball like that. So he definitely learned that. I think he was, if anything, one of the bright spots for the game that day.
Yeah, definitely not a bad performance. What I'm not a fan of him is obviously his height, but also his uncontrolled aggression. I think. I think.
Ooh,
Yeah,
pen?
he went in heavy. He
Pen?
went in heavy. I don't know if that was a pen. I think we're gonna see. That was one thing that I think generally over the weekend, I feel like refs were trying to be more lenient with those calls as far as physicality. And I also want to give a shout out to like the VAR reviews were definitely a lot quicker. Like you saw, like usually you'd have the ball way, the guys, like you would have enough time for the broadcast to be zooming in on a player and he's like with his hands on his hips and stuff. It's like no, it's like the ref was like 1, 2, 3, whatever. No, nothing. All right, play on. Let's go. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, but yeah, his uncontrolled aggression, which is kind of a common theme with Argentinian center backs. Kind of see Nicolas Otamendi,
Christian Romero's
Christian Romero as well.
slide tackle. He got carded for that. No, I thought that was clean, honestly. But
Right,
No,
he swept him with his trailing
he
leg.
did get a yellow.
Yeah, he swept him with his trailing leg. But I thought, yeah, aggression. Yeah, that's how they play though.
I want to see him actually play as a six. I don't know. I'm just really not a fan of short center backs in the Premier League in a back four. I just think if you just, like I said last episode, we just go based off track record. It just hasn't gone well. But what he is immense is obviously his on the ball ability and his ability to progress it and
It's much better, bro.
ability to be comfortable with any angles as a six. And he's played that for Ajax. So
That's interesting.
So his build actually probably benefits that role where he's kind of like a short, low center of gravity where he's aggressive in duels and in
Some Gary
challenges.
Medel
So
type shit.
I'd be interested to see him in a six, and I think he'd be a lot better than him play as a center back because I think as a center back you kind of limit his potentialness and in terms of on the ball ability because obviously we all know Erik and Hag loves to build up from the back and from the midfield, and you kind of see Fred and McTominay aren't good enough at doing that. So it's kind of pretty much evident why Ten Hag is targeting Frankie de Jong, who can almost create a back three and circulate the ball. And I just think I like to see Lisandro as a six.
CDM,
Yeah,
as
that'd
six?
be interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take McTominay out.
Yeah, for real.
He was horrendous for you guys.
He doesn't pass. He just dribbles.
He's your
Yeah.
Henderson.
He's a,
He's actually better.
well, all right.
He is definitely. I can see that because he is the passion merchant. He's got those yelling compilations too when he celebrates and shit.
Passion
Like
merchant,
I can
passion
see that.
So quickly on Sancho, what's your thoughts on him? Like I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because he's had a rough start to his United career.
Sure. But that's it. It's time's up.
Yeah.
It's time's up. He has to come good. And I could only paper over those cracks as much as last season. But now, there's no excuse of like, oh, he doesn't have anything to work with or he doesn't have the personnel around him to thrive. Like, if you're that good, you should be able to at least impact the game no matter how. Like, go back to your roots. If you want to dribble, like, there was this one chance that he had in the box that I remember where Robbie Mosto, shout out to him, he was like, he had the ball, he cut in, beat the defender, and then he had one more chance where he could have shot, but he went for the nutmeg instead. And he just made it a little bit more complicated. And so, hey, if you want to be that guy, fine, go ahead.
that guy.
But you have to be that guy. You got to deliver. You got to score. You have to impact the game a lot more than he did. And I think this season is going to be curtains for him as far as the judgment, whether he's a cop or a flop.
I agree on that take where regardless if you're misprofiled, you can still show it. I'm actually a really really big fan of Sancho. I do think I think him and Sancho and Grealish are very similar in terms of players who like to pick up the ball and carry it, and players who like to drift inside. The common theme with them both is that they don't have overlapping fullbacks, i.e., with City and Cancelo who likes to drift inside and obviously more invert. Luke Shaw is an overlapping fullback. He doesn't support Sancho. Same thing with Joao Cancelo with Jack Grealish. Kind of leaves him isolated. And both of them are kind of being used as touchline wingers, which Grealish is not a touchline winger, and Jadon Sancho especially is not a touchline winger. So
That's nuts.
I definitely agree on the if you're most misprofiled or not, you will show it. I do think he's been very utilized in the wrong position and in the wrong role mostly.
Nothing to consider as well at Borussia. He always did start off kind of slow, and then throughout the season,
Throughout the
just
season, he would ramp
started-
it up. Sure.
Yeah, started,
Yeah.
you know,
Like
getting some
his
numbers on the board.
obvious strength is final third decision making, which he's elite at. Like even if you go back last
comparison
season, his decision making is
compared to
absolutely elite.
Rashford, who decided to miss that one golden chance in the middle. Like, man, United, come on, guys, please.
All right, well, we could.
I got Dyer smiling next to me. Like, come on, United, please, please.
Well, we can continue going on this rabbit hole, but I think we'll just kind of end it there.
Yeah, that's
any,
it. Next,
any
next
final
game
thoughts,
week.
guys?
Nah, bro. They
Oh,
got
no,
they
I
gotta
got
pick
one
it up.
final thought.
Okay.
The scouting, right, on obviously Adrian Rabiot and Marko Arnautovic. For me, it screams that Eriksson Hag doesn't trust the scouting department of Manchester United, which is the reason why he's targeting his former players and Jurriën Timber.
I
and
heard that.
Lisandro Martinez.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm missing someone. Who else? Jurriën Timber, Lisandro Martinez, Anthony, and Cole. I just think that like all right, I don't trust the scouting department. I'm just go back to what I know about and what I know how to work with and how to actually profile them correctly. I don't trust the scouting department. Let me just go get these players and let me try to go target them, which United are doing. And they already target one of those players, Lisandro, and they wanted to get Jurriën Timber wrapped up, and they were
Brazilian
actively
kid, right?
they were
Yeah, and
actively
Anthony.
pursuing Anthony. So yeah,
That was they got priced out on that one, right?
yeah, they're asking for
So
like
far,
70 mil.
yes.
70 mil.
Yeah.
I think that's nuts.
That's ridiculous, bro. Jeez. But yeah, let's end it. Let's end it on that final thought. No Gat here to give his thoughts on the game, but Gat, happy birthday to you. Hope
birthday
you're
to you,
celebrating.
Gat.
Happy
Happy birthday,
birthday, Gat.
get.
So we will celebrate that on Wednesday. Yeah, when you're here. So last game to end the week, game week numero uno. West Ham versus Man City 2-0. I have one thing to say. Haaland. That's
Yeah, I
Oh.
know Nick is gonna want to. Nick is probably gonna come up with a real playing back my words, maybe even playing back Erik in black and white, and then showing like the clip of Haaland's
First of
match
all,
rating.
Not Haaland at the beginning. He's not gonna make it, bro.
I
At the
did,
very
I did,
beginning, he
but that
doubted
was
him.
just
And I was
obvious.
all about him. I was all about him. And I
Nah,
still am
bro.
about him, but again,
I'm still doubting.
gave
I'm
my
still
thoughts,
doubting.
so I know.
I'm gonna
We'll
stay.
see
I'm
what
gonna say real.
happens.
I think they figured it out. It literally, like, I thought that was pretty cool to see. They figured it out in the middle of the game. We need to pick up on his runs, and they started sliding that ball into his diagonal runs in front of him, where he could for the penalty, he made up 50 freaking feet in 3 strides. It was ridiculous, and he still had enough composure to poke the ball out of the way of Alphonse Areola and get that. And in the beginning of the game, none of that was happening because you still had the players buzzing around, the ridiculousness of having both Cancelo and Walker narrow in the midfield so that they could open up those channels on the side because they wanted to just keep moving. And then by the end, Kevin De Bruyne was like, oh, this is how this motherfucker works. He started sliding those balls through, and he kept doing that second half. Late second half, you saw that happening. And it wouldn't come off because obviously West Ham got privy to it. But that's gonna be a recurring thing in the Prem, bro.
Like, when you have a physical specimen up top like that who cheats his XG, who is stronger and faster than any opposition center back, all tactics in the final third go out the window. When he's
Yeah.
making that run in between the center back or in between
Just
the
get
center
it
back
to
into
him,
the
bro.
channel, you just give him the ball. That's it. You let him, like Haaland's bread and butter at Borussia was either Marco Reus or Jadon Sancho or one of the midfielders. Just literally Haaland making a run diagonal, like you just said, into a channel. You just slip the ball in behind and he just smacks it with his left foot to the left bottom corner of the keeper. That's what you just give the ball to these players when they're making the runs. That's it. And it took them one game. That's it. Like even in the Community Shield, you saw Lex and Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva not giving him the ball when he's making those runs. You just give him the ball. That's it. It's as simple as that. No need to dilly dally around that. You just give those players the ball. That's it. When they're making those runs.
So I mean, again, not much to really say else besides just Haaland doing his thing. And
I was just the only thing that I have to mention was I was really like confused of how Cancelo and Walker were playing because it almost looked like a 2 defenders.
Yeah, it's
And-
2-3-5.
2-3-5. That's all. That's all.
But,
most
like,
guys
it's
up
very
now.
But like
common.
no, but I've never seen Guardiola. Have I? I don't remember.
It's something
'cause-
new that he's implementing.
Yeah, he likes to change up his build up shape. So
Yeah, 'cause I-
sometimes he'll go 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah, because
Or
I've also
3.
I've also seen Grealish like come back pretty far back, almost as if he looked like a left wing back. So, I mean,
Fish,
it worked. So I mean,
It was
That's
wild.
funny.
though.
I have 2, 3, 5. That's literally how Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal now, United too. I saw a lot some clips of them doing that. When they go on the attack, they had center backs tying up, their inverted backs, and then it's usually a 6, and then the 5 up front.
just
So
never
it's
seen
so
where
attacking,
never
so
seen
attacking.
Guardiola do that though.
Yeah, they're like freaking conical.
Yeah.
I just
I like that. It's crazy.
Because
if
Cancelo
it-
made pretty good runs down the middle.
He
So
did. He did. I do want to shout out Kurt Zuma. I don't know if you've seen that clip online where the the fans behind the goal when he got injured, they started saying, "That's how your calf felt. That's how your calf felt.
oh geez.
That's how your calf felt." No.
All right, sorry, God. But I think that's it for the recap. Quickly on some transfer and some other news. We're gonna talk about the strategy of United, but you already touched on that. Frankie De Jong's contract nightmare right now.
Yeah, bro. The legal. We're gonna press charges if you don't leave, Frankie.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Barcelona.
There's
as a club,
criminality involved.
any player looking at this club right now, you should definitely question your values because this is not a well-run club.
I actually looked before we started recording. There was an article posted about 4 hours ago that La Liga officially blocked Barcelona from registering any of those new players.
Stop playing. You could.
I'm not.
No,
It
but
was
they're
on
gonna get
Guardian.
registered. Like, just like
There's gonna be
this
a
news
way.
comes up every time they sign
Yes,
someone.
yes, there's going to be a way, but there was also it was linked to a report that they had found out they had made a fake holding company that they were pouring funds into to buy their own assets to inflate the price. And basically it's like so Barcelona makes let's say
Embezzlement.
they make a holding company, a shell company in this case. Let's call it like Red and Blue Kits company, where they make awesome whatever footballing kits. So they give them money so that they can front and pay themselves back to buy Barcelona's assets, which would be all of these other like like the you can consider like the broadcasting deals, sponsorship deals, whatever you can categorize as that. Just to explain it simply. And so they found out that it was over 150 million that they were pouring back into their own project to artificially bump up the price of their share or whatever. And they're like, well, guess what? You can't do that. You're gonna have to pay tax on that. And I think the end verdict was like they now have to they now have to pay somewhere like 39 million euro on what they owed because they tried to make it seem like that money was coming from outside, but it was
Yeah.
actually their own. So I think some of that has to do with the fact that the officially La Liga put out their statement like you're black from registering any of these players, and then they have to. I read something that they have to offload either Aubameyang or Memphis to be able to sign other people. Bro, it's nuts. It's
Dude,
nuts.
This club is a disaster. If you support this club, definitely question the way that this club supports their players.
They have an incredible team right now, though.
They do. They do.
They can't play them though.
Yeah, they
so-
can play.
They'll get registered.
Of course, they get registered.
Winter transfer.
If only rules applied in this world, right? And lastly, what I have here at least, and then you guys can get any final thoughts, is Ismail Sarr already with the contender of the Puskas Award. With that
I
half-
saw reports about that. I saw the headline, but I didn't see the goal.
half field, but actually further back than half field.
a little further back.
Yeah.
Maybe like 55 yards.
What, like
out.
on some like Beckham Rooney shit
Just
type? He just blasted it.
Goalie was off.
Yeah,
It was
goalie
way
was
off
on
his
top of
line.
the 18.
Oh
Or
shit!
Couldn't-
maybe a little further.
No
than that.
chance. No chance of him getting it. but
Wow.
That's all I have. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Anything you want to quickly touch on before we end tonight's episode?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Talk to me.
So I tweeted this out
On your burner account, on your actual account?
On the
No,
burner.
on my actual
Second burner.
I have a
account.
burner account.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
What makes you think of a burner account?
I've seen your
Look,
burner
this is
account.
I've seen your burner.
No,
account.
I've seen the other burner account.
What?
The one that you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Yeah, I've seen the
Nah,
burner
nah.
account,
You
bro.
see,
Alright,
I
alright.
don't have a burner account.
That's what people with burner accounts
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I don't know.
ADS.
It makes me look like I have a burner account because I have a footballer as my fucking.
You said you have a
admin.
burner account for the pages that blocked you.
Exactly.
No,
I was
I
about
do,
to
but
say
I
that.
don't.
See,
Yeah,
they're wrong. They're
Oh, I
wrong.
do.
Respect, Nick. Respect.
Okay, so what'd you tweet out? What was it
I
that
only
you
have one
tweeted
tweet
out
in my
today?
burner.
What did you tweet out
Okay,
today?
okay.
though?
All right, sorry. To
Oh, okay.
advance it. Let me
Get out of your burner account. Go back into your actual account.
Okay. I think there's genuinely a case that every single 8 for every single top 6 club is better than Jordan Henderson.
The agenda is
It's not
so
an
clear.
agenda.
Yo.
It's not an agenda. It's not an
Every
agenda.
single-
Trust. It should be common
I
knowledge.
thought we were going somewhere else with this.
Yeah.
Back to Jordan Henderson.
Can you clip this and send it to you to Edgar, please?
I got you. I have no problem. It should be common opinion in the masses. I already discussed it. I'll discuss it along the season. If Jordan Henderson continues to start for Liverpool Football Club, they will not win. a
What
major
does
trophy.
Jordan Henderson have to do to give you a change of heart?
Leave.
Score 8 goals.
If let's say he contributes with 8 goals, 8 assists.
It's a good season,
But
but he won't do that. So, but yeah.
All right.
So I tweeted out: is there a case that every single top 6 club 8 is better than him? So I put Xhaka, Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe, Lokanga, Fabio Vieira, Mateo Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher, Carney Chukwuemeka, Thiago, Keita, Elliott, Curtis Jones, James Milner, Yves Bissouma, Bentancur, Christian Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, Vanny Donnebeek. Was it Vanny Donnebeek? Donny Van de Beek. I put it wrong.
Yeah.
McTominay, Fred, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundo,
McTominay?
Yeah, I think you went a little too far with McTominay.
I think all these players are better than Jordan Henderson.
bro, start you should start looking for players in the EFL league right now. Honestly,
Oh, EFL is a nice.
look for number 8s from there.
They got some nice exports. I don't know their eights.
All right, so
The one from Norwich.
Nick has been very clear that Liverpool will not succeed as long as Jordan Henderson is still playing.
They just need to sign a midfielder. That's if Liverpool sign a midfielder.
Are you worried about your midfield right now?
Yeah,
Thiago
absolutely.
Hurd, Jordan
Let's
Henderson.
go through it. Thiago. So it's Thiago, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Naby Keita, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and
Maybe James Milner.
James Milner. That's 8,
Yeah.
right? So I said Thiago. First of all, injury prone, right? Completely injury prone. Fabinho, injury prone, in my opinion, has declined in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Jordan Henderson, enough said. And then I said Harvey Elliott, 19 years old.
He's good though.
He's good. He's completely young. If you're relying on a 19-year-old Harvey Elliott for you to win to spear you to a league title winning season, then you already have enough problems. Curtis Jones, it's so apparent that he's needed a loan for the past 2 seasons. His development has significantly stunted. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain just got a 3-month injury hamstring. He's still not good enough. Even
Injury
with
prone.
I thought they were
speaking
letting him
against
go. I
it.
thought they were releasing him or something.
I think they wanted to, but just the injury fucked it up.
Fuck.
James Milner, obviously old. Enough said, right?
Wow, that's crazy.
And then
Did not see it like
I'm
that.
missing the other one.
Naby Keita.
Missing the other one. Naby Keita, he's injury prone, right? Out of those 8 midfielders, in my opinion, only 3 of them are actually valuable to Liverpool challenging for major trophies, and that's Fabinho, that's Naby Keita, and that's Thiago Alcantara. 2 of those which are severely injury prone. So I saw people say, okay, I was saying Liverpool need a midfielder, right? But then people were saying, oh, if it's not Jude Bellingham, Liverpool won't target a stopgap per se. Regardless, Liverpool will need 2, maybe even 3 midfielders next summer. So I just don't understand why you just don't get the Jude Bellingham sitting now, and then next summer go all out for Jude Bellingham. When you already have Man City, Real Madrid gonna go all gun ho for Jude Bellingham. So I don't understand why you just don't target midfielder now. So then come next summer, you have that midfielder that you buy this summer, and if you get Jude Bellingham, it'd be those 2.
You'd be
If
complete.
Liverpool do not sign a right-sided 8, I think
Just curtains.
I don't know if it's current. They'll still challenge, but there's a reason why Liverpool missed out on 1 point twice.
For
It's
the
not a
league, yeah.
coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for me, it's the absolute golf and quality in terms of that midfield department from City. It's not just Kevin De Bruyne and Henderson. It's the golf and quality from Man City's midfield department compared to Liverpool's. Like James Milner and Jordan Henderson. They're genuinely they're bottom half quality. They shouldn't be starting for like if James Milner is coming on to change the game against Fulham in 2022 for Liverpool, that's already enough of a problem. It's already enough of a problem. If Pep Guardiola was managing Liverpool, you think he'd have James Milner and Jordan Henderson consistently starting? You think so?
Yes.
Then why doesn't he have Fabian Delph and Fernandinho consistently starting?
Oh, that's a different conspiracy. That's a different conspiracy.
So-
I think we should make a petition to start a segment here, and it's gonna be called and Jordan Henderson, and then have Nick want his rant.
Nico's thoughts.
It's all
Nico's
facts.
thoughts on Jordan Henderson.
It's all facts. If any Liverpool fans
if we
watching this
challenge Nick to
and are
come up with,
disagreeing, you are completely wrong.
if we challenge Nick to come up with one negative on Jordan Henderson every week, I'm pretty sure he'd be able to go on for a good 5 minutes.
And it's not a detriment to the guy. Like
Sure.
he shouldn't be starting as a right-sided 8 for Liverpool.
You have at least-
he should be a backup 6, which is
You have at least one positive for Jordan Henderson.
He's
Spirit.
actually a really good backup six.
Leader of men trait FIFA career.
When he plays six against like genuinely the draws, the lower half of the team table, Liverpool have most of the ball. He's actually really good.
You mean against
He
Fulham?
can actually pick out a pass.
You mean against Fulham?
Yeah, but he didn't play the six, and so
Yeah, he
Fabinho came
didn't.
off. And then if you have James Milner and Jordan Henderson, that's just a recipe for the disaster. Like, but enough said.
Enough said. Yes.
Game week 1 in the books, you said, right, Eric?
Robin?
Game week 1 in the books, you said?
Game week 1 in
one
the
in the
books, and it was an entertaining one. Any big matchups coming up this weekend? Doesn't matter. We talk about it on
Spurs and
Wednesday.
Chelsea.
Spurs and Chelsea. So you won't be here for that.
No.
So we'll just quickly get your
I'll try. I'll do my best to watch the game over the weekend.
That's fine, but if you, I'm guessing you're gonna be busy the next couple of days. So if you want to
Yeah,
get your
I'm
score line now,
Flying out to Austin. They're playing at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea didn't look too crazy, but we lost to Chelsea 4 times. It needs to change. However,
Spurs aren't getting a result.
I think
Spurs
it's
aren't
gonna.
getting a result.
I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw.
They stink against
1-1
Chelsea.
draw, and we'll save our predictions for Wednesday.
Yeah,
But also, thanks for coming today. We'll see you next Wednesday, right?
correct.
Possibly. I
Possibly.
might work.
You might work.
Yeah.
Alright.
You're working here, so. But yeah, any final thoughts? Nick got his last Jordan Henderson rant out of the night.
Yeah.
Anything?
All of the night.
I was disappointed by United this weekend. I hope it improves. That's my last final thought. Come on,
I'm
guys.
happy with Spurs this weekend. Let's keep it going.
I have one final word. Respect. Marco, anything?
Respect.
Respect.
Okay,
You are the
Mourinho's
bench.
out
The
here.
bench of the voice. Where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.
Good night.